What's up guys, this is Ty the Asian Wonder, your online personal trainer, and in this exciting video tutorial, I'm gonna bust a very common bullshit fitness myth that you hear in the gym all the time, and that has to do with trying to get a pump. Everybody and their mother is trying to get a pump inside the gyms so that they feel that because if they don't get a pump, they're not working their muscles. Now, first of all, before I tell you why this pump is a bunch of bullshit, you have to understand exactly why your body gets a pump when you're working out, okay? Now, a pump comes from muscle, right? There's two reasons why a pump occurs. One is that blood pumps into it. So if I just sit here on this bar and just do some push-ups right here, if I do them long enough, what happens is my body will start pumping blood into my chest area and it will naturally get pumped up. However, just because blood is in the area of the muscle, the target muscle, that does not mean that you are going to get bigger or you're going to get stronger, okay? There's absolutely no evidence whatsoever in the real world, not online, not in a book, not in a magazine, not in a DVD, but in the trenches, in the real world, that a pump has anything to do with muscle gain or strength gain, all right? The number two reason why a muscle gets pumped up, is that it produces, when you work out the fast twitch muscle fibers, right, it produces a waste product called lactic acid. That is the waste product, just like when you drive a car and it produces the smoke out the exhaust pipe, that's the byproduct of burning air and gasoline together, right? Well, the same thing happens when your body burns fuel to get inside the muscles to get to work, right? It produces the byproduct called lactic acid. When lactic acid builds up in your muscles, what it does is it locks it up so that you can't move no more. That's the reason why you can only do so many, okay? Now, if you work your endurance fibers, which are also the slow twitch fibers, like here, I'm doing this 25-pound bar curl, right? You'll notice that I can talk to you, not hold my breath, not do anything, and do this until I get tired or until I get bored and I can stop, right? I don't feel no pump in this simply because I'll feel a pump from having blood flow into my arms, but there's no lactic acid built up. Why? Because I am not training the strength fibers, also known as the fast twitch fibers, right? So now, if I switch over and do this 95-pound bicep curl right here with this bar, the bigger bar, you will notice that I can only do maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 reps with it. Why? Because now I'm training over 60% of the capacity of my biceps, right? Which means that now it's going to start producing lactic acid because I'm training the fast twitch muscle fibers, all right? Keep in mind, I have about 16.5-inch arms and it curls about 130, 135 pounds. And so now if I curl 95 pounds, that is beyond the 60% capacity of my arms, which will start to activate the fast twitch fibers or the strength fibers, all right? So when I do this like this, right? Right there, what happens is, now I feel a pump in my arms, a slight pump, like I said, from blood rushing into my biceps, and the other thing is from the lactic acid that's building up from me training my fast twitch fibers, okay? Now I have to stop here, catch my breath, and let my body flush out that lactic acid out of my biceps before I can do another set, okay? Now, when it's tight like this, it hinders the explosive movement of my biceps, thereby hindering my strength gains, right? That's why some of you guys that want to get bigger and get stronger, and you guys rush to go from one set to the next, and you only have like maybe 10, 20, 30-second rest or even 1-minute rest in between sets, that is not realistic to getting massive strength gains. Why? Because you don't give your body enough time to eliminate the lactic acid, flush it out of your body, and get it out of your system before you can do the next set. So despite what everybody says online, in the gym, in the books, in the magazines, right, about you need to be pumped, the only guys that ever say that, these knuckleheads are on steroids, okay? Stop listening to them because they've never trained someone to really get muscles, and they don't know how to gain muscle outside of shooting steroids in their ass, okay? I'm very adamant about this because I hate BS at the gym, okay? So watch this video carefully and go out there and test it for yourself, guys. Don't just listen to me, okay? Because I might just be some knucklehead online. Go out there, do something that's less than 60% of your 1 rep max, try it out and see how it feels pump, and then do something with over 60% or 65% of your 1 rep max and see how it feels also. And notice that if you don't rest long enough in between the first and the second set, your body cannot have enough strength to do as many reps or more reps, okay? So ignore the idea that you need to get the pump or any of this bullshit, okay, that you hear people say online or in the books and the magazines all the time. It's only because they've never done it in real life with other people and clients and see for themselves, all right? Now, oftentimes you'll hear some people saying that the right protein powders or the whey protein or certain supplements or anything like that will get you a pump also. Now that right there is just another bunch of BS, right? The whey protein, any of those supplements, that has nothing to do with you getting a pump, right? Now there is one kind of pump that I do that is not BS and is completely true and that I do recommend that you try to get, and that pump is the post-workout pump, which happens the next day. This happens, if you'll notice, the next day after you finish your workout, you'll notice some days your body will feel really pumped, and then sometimes it doesn't, and that's because it has to do with the amount of carbs that's inside your muscle cells, okay? Now, when you bring carbs inside or any kind of fuel, anytime the body puts fuel inside the muscle cells, what happens is the muscle cells expand because it brings in with it water molecules, okay? There's 2 ways to do this. One is by taking supplements such as creatine monohydrate. Every time that enters the body's muscle cells, that will also bring molecules of water along with it, and it swells up the muscle cells. Now you can do that. I really don't recommend supplements, guys. If you know me or been my client before at the gym, you'll know that I'm completely against supplements unless you're training for Division 1A athletic programs or for professional sports or anything like that. Otherwise, if you're just a regular, average person walking around trying to look good, there's absolutely no need for it, okay? So one is that you can take supplements such as creatine monohydrate, and what it does is it brings more water into your muscles and you'll feel pumped the next day. I don't recommend that because when you stop taking the creatine, the muscle pump goes away. Now, the one type of muscle pump that I do recommend that is highly, highly effective and it's very good and it's been proven to increase muscle gain and muscle growth is to eat some complex carbs after you finish your workout within an hour or 2, so that what happens is your body starts to refuel your muscles and it pumps that carbs into your muscle cells, okay? Then the next day, you will feel a huge pump, right? Not because it's from the workout, but more so because you were able to reload and refuel your muscle cells so that it's prepared for the next day's workout or whenever you plan to work out in the future, right? So now that type of muscle pump, I do recommend because it does work, it does produce more muscle, and it does produce more strength gains simply because it trains your muscle to be more fuel efficient. Keep in mind, guys, training alone is not just going to get your muscles bigger. When you train, one of the reasons why your muscles get bigger is because you're controlling and you're making it adapt to being more efficient with the energy use that's inside the muscle cells. So keep that in mind. When you finish a workout, try to eat some complex carbs such as rice, such as beans, such as corn, any kind of starchy type that has that's not been refined, okay, like brown rice and things like that, or brown pasta or anything wheat pasta, right? Don't eat the white stuff, okay? So to wrap it up, make sure that you avoid the pump, right? That is from muscle lifting, just from pumping blood in there. That has nothing to do with muscle gain or muscle growth, right? Or strength gains or anything like that. But the pump that you get from reloading your muscles with some complex carbs after a workout, now that is effective, and make sure that you do that. So thanks for watching this video, guys. And if you have any questions or any comments, please leave in the comment box below so that you can share it with other people and myself too, of course.